Okay, everyone, everything is good to go now, so let's start. All right, so hello, Polkadot community. I'm Anna from Polkadot Insider, and today we're just so proud to have AMA sessions with Ajuna Network, a gaming and NFT protocol for both developers, game studios, and gamers. And for developers, they can create high quality, decentralized games in the fastest way. And it seamlessly integrates industry leading game engines, Unity and Unreal, with the world of blockchain-based assets. And for gamers, Ajuna empowers you to truly own your in-game assets, protect and control their functionality, and have a voice in the future of the games you love. And in case you don't know, Polkadot Insider is a channel updating news, data analytics, real-time data, and research about projects to support retail investors build when they invest in the Polkadot and Usama ecosystem. So if you want to hear more about the next generation of decentralized gaming, let's stay and listen to the end, because we have a detailed conversation with one of the core team members who's going to share with us about the growth of Ajuna Network on Polkadot ecosystem in terms of their recent products, cooperation, and what events the project team is going to bring to the ecosystem in the upcoming time. All right, so it is so interesting. So let's start with the first question today. So to kick off the atmosphere, sir, can you tell us something about Ajun Network and also what is your background and how you became involved in the Polkadot ecosystem?
Hey, thank you for hosting us today, and thank you everybody for the audience for joining in. I'm Nicholas. I'm the business development lead for Ajuna Network and co-founder, along with Cedric and Andre, who are, I think, also here today participating in the call. So yeah, thank you for having us here. A brief background about myself. I've been, I think, in this space for the past close to 6 years. Always been a gamer myself and super interested the minute sort of that I understood how we can see in a different way the whole concept of digital ownership of our in-game items. That sort of fascinated me from very early on. So this idea that we can build towards a future where we bring closer together in the creative process both the developers and the community, that they can not only share in sort of the experience but also in the success of let's say these games that they're producing, is something which is super interesting for me. So yeah, that's a bit of a background about myself and sort of my involvement here in the space. And for Ajuna Network, as you mentioned yourself earlier, we are a gaming chain looking to bring sort of these different new experiences to the Web3 ecosystem. What I can add to what you said before was that for us, built on Substrate, what it manages to do, it leverages the full potential essentially of the Polkadot ecosystem, as it can provide developers with you can look at it sort of a modular toolbox for how they can build their own blockchains. And for Ajuna, the ultimate goal is to create real value for both gamers and developers, and provide a fully interoperable and decentralized ecosystem for gamers and virtual goods. So our story started, I would say about probably, I would say Cedric's story, sort of in the ecosystem, started back in 2013, where first, whether that was identifying or getting involved with those early adapters with the Bitcoin protocol through mining, and later on actually programming against the Bitcoin protocol to create his first, let's say, game, or in code logic on the Bitcoin protocol. It was just a few years later that that adventure led to the next one, which was how can we actually launch a game on the blockchain. So at that point, there was sort of a lot of experimentation with different infrastructures. And at that point, Dash was a very interesting sort of concept in terms of how it was handling, I would say, sort of the governance side of things. And so that rabbit hole led to Cedric forking essentially Dash in order to use it as an infrastructure for his game, which was back then called The World of Mogwais. And yeah, as sort of a lot of other people during that period which were experimenting, deeply, let's say, experimenting with the technology, he found out the difficulties of trying to operate a fully sovereign blockchain on your own in terms of both security and even sort of from operational costs. So it was a few years ago, close to 2 years ago, then where we first sort of stumbled upon Substrate as a programming language and as an ecosystem. And very quickly, I think within a couple of weeks, Cedric had already started working on a Unity SDK for the Substrate ecosystem. And with going down that rabbit hole of Substrate and the Polkadot ecosystem, I think what really we felt empowered us as a Ajuna Network to be in this ecosystem was that from a technology point of view, this idea, this concept in order to create a bit about Ajuna Network and myself.
Yeah, thank you, sir, a lot for your sharing about Ajuna Network vision, mission, what you guys have done, and also are working really hard on to keep building and developing. And also your very interesting journey with the gaming industry and also Ajuna Network. And thank you for that, sir. Such a great kick-off. Yeah. So we're down to hear more about you guys right now. So recently we've heard that awesome Ajuna avatars has launched. So can you share with us more about this one and also what experiences does it bring to the users?
Yes, thank you. So yes, it's true. The awesome Ajuna avatars have launched, and as of probably less than an hour ago, we've gone into the normal season. So it's open for anyone right now to participate. So you can go either on our Discord or you can go at aaa.ajuna.io and start creating and forging your own awesome Ajuna avatars. So what are the awesome Ajuna avatars? The awesome Ajuna avatars are, let's say, a small collective NFT game, which is going to be based on the heroes of Ajuna. So different projects, different products and games, which will be launching on Ajuna Network, will get the opportunity to launch a season of the awesome Ajuna avatars. So you can see this as a community building product, a community building, let's say, mini game, where they get to introduce in a fun and interactive way to their community what their concept. So in our case, season 1 is based on our flagship game Battle Mobs, which we're going to be releasing its beta later on throughout the year. So inspired by that game, we have created this minting and forging game with the awesome Ajuna avatars, where your goal is to forge that legendary awesome Ajuna avatar, which later on will take you through quite an interesting number of journeys throughout the year, which we are designing now with the team. So awesome Ajuna avatars, as I mentioned, just launched. Season 1 will be based on Battle Mobs, and currently the team is sort of super excited as we are already preparing for season 2, which will be in a few months also ready to go. I think one of the most exciting parts of this experience for us was that this is something obviously that started quite a few months ago from Cedric, sort of the initial concept and sort of the game design, then going into that process of creating that initial game design document. So all of this process helps us not only to get a better understanding of the type of issues that game developers themselves are going in, but it also gives us the opportunity quite a lot to iterate and refine the product. So for example, our first playtest internally with the team, actually our first public playtest was back in November. So we gave ourselves quite a bit of time in order to be able to fine tune as much as we could and make sure that we stay close with our community and onboard the community for season 1. And we're very happy to get as many people on board to participate.
Wow, I can say that it's really awesome as its name, sir. Yeah, indeed. And also it's open for everyone, as you said. So everyone, please check it out right after the AMA. I think it's really, really awesome and interesting. So yeah, it's season 1, and we definitely wait for more from Ajuna. Yeah. So thank you for that, sir. So about the next question, in terms of token economy. So can you give us an overview about token economy in Ajuna Network and also how it rewards players?
Sure, thank you. Actually, that was one of the big decisions and one of the big advantages that we got by deciding to build on the Polkadot ecosystem, is that we got control from very early on of how we wanted to design the general token economy. So one of the things that we were noticing, both from our own experiences, but what we were seeing from other game developers, is that other infrastructures at this point usually work on a dual token economy. So if I am a game and I have my own token and I have launched on, whether that's called Ethereum, whether that's called Solana, or sort of any other layer one, you will always have your own game token, but you will have to transact with the general blockchain, or sort of pay gas fees in that native token. So the more successful, the more traction, the more transactions, let's say, you generate on that chain, that ends up filling up those gas fees that are being collected, end up filling up the treasury of that layer one. So to us, it always felt that it's not rewarding in an equitable way, sort of the right people, or sort of the right community. So on Ajuna Network, we designed a token economy which can operate with a single token. That means that if a game developer or a product that is launching on Ajuna Network wants to have its own token, it will be able to have its own token and its own economy, and also use that same token in order to pay for the gas fees or for the usage of the network. So that means that all of this economy or success that is being generated, it means that your success, your gas fees, which then gets to reward your community and sort of your traction. We think that's sort of a very critical point. And then for the token holders of Ajuna Network, you get not only, so for example, if you choose to hold the Ajuna token, you will get rewarded not only in the native token, but you also get rewarded by every other token of a game that has launched on Ajuna Network. So it's a way that we can incentivize both sort of the general community that wants to support the Ajuna Network, but also open up other community members to new experiences in a fun and easy way, which will be launching on Ajuna Network.
Yeah, thank you, Sir, a lot for such an insightful sharing. Yeah, we can understand that Polkadot ecosystem is a really good base for Ajuna Network, and also there are a lot of benefits for users there when they engage in the platform. Yeah, and I think it's very good news for the users, and especially for the token holders and developers. Yeah, it's definitely very useful for listeners. Yeah, thank you for that. So maybe talking about gaming, or maybe other depth, maybe one of the most concern of users, the players, is about security. So we wonder what security measures that Ajuna take to ensure fair play and also to protect the players' assets.
Yep, thank you. So security or sort of issues such as privacy are very important for gaming also. And I think that was, so one of the basic things that you want in terms of security has to do actually with your infrastructure, right? Especially in gaming. A lot of these games that you see right now in sort of Web 2 environment run on sort of big infrastructures with servers running, so security is very important there. Polkadot played a big role for us when we're thinking sort of blockchain as an infrastructure, to be able to work upon a layer which has that sort of trust and security built in as a value proposition. Now, the second thing that's really important has to do with fairness, especially in gaming, when it has to do with games where either there's competition involved, or even more so at an esports level, being able to guarantee, let's say, some level of fairness is important. Now, blockchain cannot solve all of the problems that have to do, let's say, with cheating in esports or competition. But there's a lot of things that it can do in order to mitigate and sort of create a process which is a much more fair of how we deal with these things. So one of the early things that we were experimenting on, and continue to do so, was sort of the idea of a trust score token, right? Sort of a token which would be able to identify from your gameplay, sort of, or your activities in the game and sort of within the network, and be able to score you according so, and have you to have sort of an eligibility or not in competitive games. So there's different things that we can do in terms of how we can protect the assets and how we can protect the game experience. But for us, probably the most important decision was that choice to build on Polkadot because of its trust and security in its infrastructure.
Yeah, thank you, Sir Lord. I think your answer really strengthens a lot of users' belief. Yeah, we really appreciate like what you guys do to with the identification process to protect the players' experience and their access, and I think it's really great. Yeah, and we know that Arjuna is gonna do much more. Yeah, to really ensure the amazing experience of the players. Yeah. So, to your point of view, how do you see the way blockchain technology enhances the gaming experience? And also, what are the biggest challenges that decentralized gaming is facing?
Thank you. That's a great question. I think so. I'll answer on first the second part. That what sort of are the main challenges here that we're facing? In a nutshell, is that blockchain is an infrastructure as compared to a centralized counterpart. Right now, from a performance point of view, is not equivalent, right? Whether that's called whether that's called in terms of latency or scalability, at this stage it's not there. But as you can see from year to year, the progress that it's making in terms of sort of latency and speed and all of these things, it's just a matter of time, not a matter of if it will happen. So that's one sort of the big challenges when we're thinking about gaming on a global scale. So if you were to look at a game right now, such as whether that's called a World of Warcraft or even a Call of Duty, so a massive online multiplayer, it would not be able to run fully on chain because of these technical limitations. But as I said, that's sort of part of the technical journey that this space has to take in order to get there. Now, I think where it becomes a lot more interesting for the blockchain space is sort of the opportunity of what it can bring here. And the opportunity is that it will allow both studios, developers, and creative people to think of different ways on which how digital assets and digital items can be used for both inside the game and outside. For users, what becomes super interesting, I think, is a vision where, maybe 20 years from now, we have our kids which look at us and say, how on earth were you paying, $10 or $20 or $30 for a Fortnite skin and you didn't own it? Why were you doing that? So I think we're looking more towards a paradigm shift where the importance of these digital assets becomes equivalently important as our physical assets.
Yeah, we really understand your point, sir. Yeah, the blockchain really the infrastructure and very good technology that really like enhances the gaming experience so far.
From game. Sorry?
Yes.
So yeah, I think it has to do a lot with how blockchain space can redefine the way that we interact and the way that we value the ownership of these digital assets and digital items. And that's sort of the future towards Ajuna Network is building towards.
Yes, who knows what the future is holding, but although there's still a lot of challenges, a lot of difficulties the gaming industry have to face, such as about the latency problem and others further problems, but I think that it's like a motivation for all the projects like Ajuna Network is keep hard working on and keep devoting to the ecosystem. Yeah, we can think it that way is the right way. Yeah, so we definitely wait for more from Ajuna Network about this term. So yes, I think it's time for us to look forward to the future. So collaboration and partnership is something that users really expect from a project. So we want to know, are you guys working with any potential partners for the growth and expansion of Ajuna Network?
So yeah, thank you for the question. I think what you will see from us as a project, as a team, and as the way that we like to sort of work with the community is through products. So yes, and I'll talk about sort of these partnerships in relation with the Awesome Ajuna avatars. To bring Awesome Ajuna avatars sort of to life, it has taken a combination of a lot of things. not only our own team, sort of designing and preparing everything, but at the same time, we are relying on our partners in the ecosystem. So this is something which is of the utmost importance to us over sort of the past few months and the upcoming ones, of how we can showcase how from having, projects such as Talisman and Sub-Wallet in the ecosystem, where people can use those wallets and come and immediately log in and start playing the awesome Ajuna avatars. We're already talking with a lot of and starting to work with projects in order to incorporate stablecoins, which later on for other projects or for other games may become quite an important factor for their in-game economies. So for now, a lot of focus is being on the technical side within the ecosystem. We have partners from quite early on, such as Integrity, where we have been working on the trusted execution environments for our layer 2. So obviously continuing to work within the Polkadot ecosystem and our partners, it's something which is by design there and something that we very much look forward to. Now, it doesn't end there, and I think part of our growth and our expansion now. We were super proud to be able to close our second funding round just a few weeks ago, and we just announced it, I think, on Friday. That now sort of pushes us into that next direction where we are looking to move out not only as a Ajuna Network, but actually take sort of the whole Polkadot experience and see how we reach out towards other ecosystems. So one of our biggest partnerships that we're going to be focusing on this year is with Polycrypt, a company from Germany, where we are working on, let's say, a gasless NFT marketplace, where what we're trying here to achieve from a technical point of view is, let's say, an experience, or from a performance point of view, equivalent with something like Immutable, so real-time gasless NFT marketplace. But instead of, let's say, relying on the technology of zero-knowledge proof, we are using this under a technology of trusted execution environments. So these are some of the sort of the technical things that we're going to be looking for. And obviously throughout the year, sort of the third big bucket has to do with the gaming industry and in general, from small indie studios to even bigger ones where we can, and a focus obviously on Battle Mogs, which is our own game, which we are continuing to develop throughout the year.
Yeah, thank you, sir, a lot. Yeah, we as based on what you have said, we can see that talking about partnership, Ajuna Network is obviously doing a great job about it, and also a lot of potential and interesting ones that waiting for Ajuna Network in the next in the upcoming time, and it's really worth expecting, and we'll definitely follow up. Yeah. So, what are your upcoming plans? I mean, the roadmap in 2023, or also in the next few years for Ajuna to grow more and more. Can you review with us just a little bit about it?
Sure, absolutely. I think all of our focus right now is around our product and our community. So we see that over the next few months, maybe that's sort of a roadmap a bit I can reveal, and I'm happy to talk about, is that of the awesome Ajuna avatars. So now with the end of season 1, where season 1 will end with the forging of the 888 legendary awesome Ajuna avatars. After that, the game will go in what we call its, let's say, end game or end state, where people will be able to continue to forge, but no more minting will be allowed. So following season 1, then we're going to start preparing the community for both the legendary adventures, which are going to be small, daily, weekly, maybe even monthly sometimes, adventures where you'll be able to take your awesome Ajuna avatar, go get, for example, your spaceship license, go buy yourself a spaceship, and go on explore different planets with different missions along the way. At the same time, we're going to be prepping season 2 of Awesome Ajuna Avatars. If anybody was able to join us on Friday when we did our live stream of the launch, we had Patrick. Patrick is the lead designer for all of the beautiful Awesome Ajuna Avatars that you see are there, his creation. And he drew live for us and our audience a pet from season 2. So we're already hard at work in preparing the next experience. And obviously, then again, with our partnerships, we're looking to onboard more projects to launch their own seasons. So yeah, maybe that's a bit of a roadmap or a sneak peek of what sort of the community can expect out of the Awesome Ajuna avatars for this year.
Yeah, thank you, sir, a lot. Well, although there's still a lot of work have to be done, but we believe that with Ajuna visions and energy, like nothing can stop Ajuna from keep growing and developing. Yeah, and everyone, season 2 of Ajuna Avatar. So yeah, don't miss out. Please follow the live stream. So yeah, so I think it's time for us to go to the final question, and I think it's quite relaxing. So, sir, if you have to say 2 sentences or 2 words to express your pride about Ajuna, so what are those?
So I'd have to say team and community. I would say I'm proudest of what the team managed to accomplish in order to bring the Awesome Ajuna avatars successfully to launch, right? A fully on-chain game built on Kusama, and we're super proud of that, of the whole team from top to bottom. And the second thing I would have to say is the community, right? Because at the end of the day, the basic reason why we built this product was to delight our community, right? We just wanted to see whether we can get them to have that feeling of getting a game, and it doesn't have to be, as I said, Call of Duty or the next big budget game, but a fun, engaging experience where they get to it was really something. I'm really proud of our community and how they managed to embrace us. We were up the whole weekend, the whole team in our Discord, playing with our community, talking with the community. So yeah, team and community would be the 2 things I'm most proud of right now in our project.
Yeah, thank you, sir, a lot. Yeah, we definitely can see the great effort of your team and also the community have been done so far, and also appreciate all the hard attempts that you have done to devote to the development of your project and also for the ecosystem, and we really appreciate that. So yeah, and I think it is all about the questions today. So we have been through a lot of insightful information about Ajuna Network and also what is the spotlight recently, and we can say it's about the awesome Ajuna Avatar Season 1, and we definitely wait for Season 2 very soon, and also a lot of interesting upcoming events in this AMA. So, sir, before we say goodbye, do you have any words left that you want to share with our listeners today?
Thank you once again, thank you for hosting us. Thank you for the community to listening in. If you have some time and you want to have a look at the Awesome Ajuna avatars, it's open to everyone. You can join us on our Discord server for any questions. You can reach out to the team. We hopefully we can keep building these fun experiences for the community, with the whole idea being bringing Web3 technology, bringing Web3 communities into gaming in sort of a natural and fun way. Thank you for hosting us, and thank you everybody for listening in.
Yeah, thank you, sir, a lot. And also, Ajuna Network have joined us today in the AMA sessions. And also, thank you, listeners, for joining us. And we hope that you really like the time here. And if you're really interested in Awesome Ajuna Avatar, please join Ajuna Discord for any questions about how you engage in this amazing event. Okay, so and about a recap of this AMA, we're gonna post it very soon so that you're not gonna miss any important information about this AMA. Okay, so we hope that you're gonna follow Ajuna Network for any of latest updates and also Polkadot Insider for more interesting AMAs. So it's time to say goodbye, everyone. So goodbye, everyone, and have a nice day.
Thank you. Goodbye.